Pelé was born Edson Arantes do Nascimento in Três Corações, an interior community some 155 miles northwest of Rio de Janeiro, in 1940, before his family relocated to Bauru, São Paulo. Even the footballer is unsure of the origins of the moniker Pelé. He once said in the British publication The Guardian that it all started with schoolmates ridiculing him for mispronouncing another player's moniker, Vile. Whatever the case may have been, the label persisted. His first experience with soccer as a boy was playing barefoot with socks and rags curled up into a ball, a humble beginning that would evolve into a long and lucrative career. But when he initially started playing, his goals were modest. "My father was a brilliant football player who scored a lot of goals," Pelé said to CNN in 2015. "His name was Dondinho, and I aspired to be just like him. He was well known in Minas Gerais, Brazil. He was my inspiration. I've always wanted to be like him, but only God knows what occurred." Pelé left home as a youngster and began training with Santos, scoring his first goal for the team before turning 16. He would go on to score 619 goals in 638 games for the club, but it is his exploits in Brazil's famous yellow shirt for which he is most remembered. Pelé's spectacular skill was first seen by the world in 1958, when he made his World Cup debut at the age of 17. He scored the solitary goal in Brazil's quarter-final win against Wales, then a hat-trick in the semi-final against France and two in the final against host Sweden. "I have to be honest and confess I felt like clapping when Pelé scored the fifth goal in that final," Sweden's Sigvard Parling stated. The tournament's most memorable moment for Pelé was placing his nation on the athletic map. "Everyone knew about Brazil when we won the World Cup," he told CNN's Don Riddle in 2016. "I think this was the most significant item I provided to my nation since after the World Cup, we were highly known." Pelé won another World Cup in 1962, despite being hampered by an injury in the tournament's closing stages. Injuries affected his next attempt in 1966, when Brazil was eliminated after the group stage, but redemption came in 1970. "If Pelé was claiming we were going to win, then we were going to win the World Cup," Brazil's co-captain Carlos Alberto stated of the competition. That team, which included Gerardinho, Gerson, Tosto, Rivellino, and, of course, Pelé, is widely recognized as one of the best ever formed. Brazil scored probably the most famous World Cup goal of all time in the final, a sweeping, length-of-the-pitch move featuring 9 of the team's 10 outfield players, in a 4-1 triumph against Italy. Pelé set up Alberto, who hammered the ball into the bottom corner of the net. Brazil's Iago Bonito, beautiful game, philosophy has never been more embodied. Pelé, who had pondered retiring before the 1970 World Cup, scored a goal in the final and 4 in total during the tournament. "I reminded myself before the game that Pelé was only flesh and bones like the rest of us," Italian defender Tarcisio Burnick stated after his team's defeat in the final. "Later, I knew I'd made a mistake." Pelé's World Cup career was over, but his time in the limelight was not. In 1975, he signed a $1.67 million a year contract with the New York Cosmos in the United States. Pelé's larger-than-life charisma and exceptional dribbling abilities, a characteristic of his game, helped the Cosmos win the North American Soccer League title in 1977 before retiring from playing. The league, which drew new stars such as Giorgio Chinaglia and Franz Beckenbauer, would not continue, collapsing in 1984. However, Pelé's legacy lives on over the world. He stayed in the public glare through sponsorship deals and as an ardent political voice in Brazil who advocated for the disadvantaged. For many years, he was a Goodwill UNICEF ambassador, supporting peace and helping disadvantaged children. Pelé's health issues plagued him for most of his latter life. He moved around with the help of a walker, which he was seen mocking in a video published last year, and in September 2021, he underwent surgery to remove a tumor from his right colon. Pelé's cancer therapy has been ongoing for the past year. He was hospitalized in Sao Paulo in November, during the 2022 World Cup, generating an outpouring of sympathy from the entire soccer community and beyond. Debate will undoubtedly rage over whether Pelé is the greatest player of all time, whether his achievements can be compared to those of Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi, who have rewritten soccer's record books in the last 15 years, or to Diego Maradona, the late Argentinian star who captivated the footballing world in the 1980s and 1990s. In 2000, FIFA recognized Maradona and Pelé as players of the century, but to others, the clear winner should have been evident. This argument over the player of the century is ridiculous, observed Zico, who represented Brazil after Pelé retired. There can only be one answer, Pelé. He's the best player of all time, and by a wide margin. It is uncertain how many goals Pelé scored during his career, and his Guinness World Records number has been called into question because many were scored in unofficial contests. He thanked Portugal's Ronaldo in March 2021 for breaking his record of goals in official matches, 767. However, there is little question that Pelé was and always will be football's first worldwide superstar. If I die one day, I would be content since I tried my hardest, he told the Talks Online magazine. Because it's the largest sport in the world,